Welcome. Today we're going to view the HYFIX weather station from Geodnet. This is a cryptocurrency miner that collects space weather data and you get rewarded in cryptocurrency. We'll do a short unboxing of my miner. We'll review the project's website and review some of the details behind the project. We'll look at where you can purchase this miner, also reviewing when I purchased mine, when I received it, and my initial cost. We'll go over some pros and cons I've found with this project so far. And then finally, I'll give you my thoughts on whether I think this is a good project to jump in on. Let's get started. If you enjoy this type of content, please hit that like button and subscribe. It really does help the channel. Thank you. I received my Geodnet HYFIX weather station in the mail yesterday. Let's open up the box and see what's all inside. All right, comes in a white box. There's a QR code for setup manual. All right, and here's the station. It looks like here we've got the antenna. We've got a mounting pole. And some cable. A USB cable, and it also looks like we've got some mounting brackets as well, and then a Wi-Fi antenna. So let's get this plugged in and we'll get started. All right, first let's go to the HYFIX.ai website. This is where I purchased my miner. I purchased it back in January of 2022 and just received it here in May. You can see the price is currently the same as when I purchased it, $395 plus I believe there's a $15 charge for shipping. You can see here earliest shipment date for current orders is July. Lead time may reach 100 days from order date at this point. All right, next let's go to the Geodnet website and kind of give an overview of this project. Geodnet, a revolution in Earth and space weather observation. The Geodnet mission is to gather dense, real-time geospatial data from the Earth and her atmosphere using a new class of roof-mounted space weather stations. The use of blockchain will promote a robust and resilient network that delivers secure and trusted geospatial data products used in key sectors of the economy, including agriculture, transportation, and finance, as well as new emerging applications for autonomy, AR, VR, and the metaverse. The best aspect of Geodnet is everyone can affordably and easily mine Geo token without high-power CPU or GPU-intensive equipment. What is space weather and why is it important? Space weather is caused by continuous and natural changes in our sun. As the sun radiates energy, a solar wind hits the Earth, carrying along with it a magnetic field that interacts directly with the Earth's atmosphere. While solar and space weather sounds abstract, it has a host of practical impacts with both positive and negative. Real-time space weather data can help us monitor air quality, sea levels, predict earthquakes, and power a host of IT services from nanosecond timing to millimeter accurate position measurements. And you can see here is the live coverage map. You can see this network is still very early in its build out. I believe they did an original test net of 100 devices in January, and now they're currently rolling out an additional 1,000 devices that are coming online now. And one of my devices being that one of those 1,000. Let's review some of the use cases. Geodnet will be the first and unique network that utilizes the limited Earth's surface as a resource, which provides enormous values for the network. Data from the network will be used in climate change monitoring, autonomous driving, high resolution mapping, autonomous construction, UAV logistics, unmanned farm, VR, AR, geodetic survey, and deformation monitoring. Geo token is earned via mining. There are two types of miners: space weather station miners, which is what I purchased, and the service provider miners. Space station weather miners earn geo tokens through proof of accuracy protocol, which validates measurement observation quality on several metrics shown below. You can see the metrics: number of signals, quality of signals, location of station, and uptime. And then here's the token supply schedule. This is one of the concerns I do have with this project. You can see a very large portion of the anticipated token supply and unlock is going to both the team, foundation, and investors. And you have a very small proportion of the token supply going to miners. So if I'm reading this correctly, only 15% is going towards the miners, which is rather small compared to some of the other projects, mining projects out there in terms of allocation of rewards towards the miners. And you can see here, you've got the unlock schedule, which they anticipate the complete unlock of all the tokens over the next 36 months. And then finally, I want to go through the roadmap. So this testnet started in January of 2022, where they tested an initial 100 stations. And now we're on mainnet 1, where they're opening up 1,000 nodes and starting staking and starting location mining, with the anticipation of having 10,000 nodes online by December of 2022, and then a significant expansion of the nodes throughout next year, and then having 100,000 nodes online by December of 2023. So very ambitious goal, but I think there's definitely capable, especially when you compare this project to Helium, that's achieved a very significant ramp up in terms of hotspots online on the network over the past year to year and a half. Here is the white paper for Geodnet. I don't want to go through it in detail. It really reiterates a lot of the different items that we just reviewed based on their website, but does provide some more detail in terms of the users of the network, the reward system. Geode is still has not been released, so the token has not been released, but this white paper gives a higher level overview of the projects and the reward structure. So I invite you to review this at your leisure. And then I was able to successfully install my space station this afternoon. You can see here my base station is currently transmitting. There's not a whole lot of data here at this point in terms to be able to look at, but we are still in the early phases of this, so I'm hopeful that they'll expand out the dashboard that they provide for your miner, so that we can get some more data points in terms of the amount of data being transmitted and recorded, and making sure that we've got everything up to spec. All right, finally, let's go over some pros and cons I've found of this project so far. Start off with the pros. Price at $410 after shipping. The initial cost of this project is low compared to some of the other miners you have out there. So in that regard, I think that you can consider that a pro. This is cheaper than most Helium hotspot miners you have out there today, which generally run you closer to $500. So in terms of a price point, this miner does come in slightly under those Helium hotspots. Availability, so 100-day wait time from order to shipment. That is also significantly lower than some of the higher desired Helium hotspots out there. I know Bobcat, I think, still is at a wait time of 20 to 24 weeks from order date to shipment. So you can get your miner here in a shorter time period. And then next, upside potential. This is a brand new project. I think a lot of us wish we were able to get into Helium, right when it initially launched, and it was very lucrative in the early months of Helium being mining. And I think there's potential where this project, since it is so new and there's so few number of hotspots out there currently today, that there is potential for huge upside with this project, but that is also dependent on the reward structure and the pricing that the Geo token comes in at. And then finally, for pros use cases, the website lists a host of different use cases for this data and this miner, and I think it's got some potential where this could have some real world value for people to utilize this data in the future, which is a welcome positive for this project, because a lot of times we see crypto projects that don't have a definitive use case, and that lack of use case can kind of be the downfall of the projects. Then next, let's go through some of the cons I've found of this project so far. Number one, this is basically a brand new project, so it really hasn't proven itself yet. And a lot of projects fail, and I think there's potential where if the team doesn't stay on top of the growth strategy and the launch of the cryptocurrency coin, that there's risk that this project could go under. And then next, competition. The main competition for this project currently is Helium. Helium has several years under their belt, a much larger team, a dedicated user base. I think currently, as of filming this video, Helium has over 800,000 hotspots online throughout the world. So they have a significant head start. But this project is using the data in a slightly different manner than Helium. So although they are competitors and there is a lot of similarities in terms of their projects, there are a couple different aspects in terms of how these hotspots are transmitted, in terms of the rules, in terms of how far they have to be apart. There isn't as rigorous rules in terms of the reward structure for Helium as there is with this project. And then next, uncertain profitability. There's no real details yet out on mining rewards, and the launch of the token hasn't occurred yet in terms of the Geo token. So we'll be watching out for that over the next couple of months, and hopefully be able to provide an update on that profitability here in the future. And then finally, token allocation. Like I mentioned earlier, there's a significant portion of the token allocation that's being distributed to the team and early investors, with a very small portion being allocated to miners. And I think that does present a potential risk to the project where the miners aren't getting adequately rewarded for what they're providing towards the project. All right, there you have it for the Geodnet HYFIX Space Weather Station cryptocurrency miner. There's a lot of positives and negatives with this project. I think it's almost too early for a lot of people to jump into something like this when there's so many uncertain aspects in terms of the profitability. The initial cost of the project is somewhat low, so I think that makes it easier, and there's no ongoing electrical or maintenance costs. It's low powered. So there are some positives, but there is so much uncertainty around this project. It's not something I would recommend people jump in at this point. But if you have any questions or comments, please leave them in the comments section below. I'd be happy to answer them. Until next time, thanks for watching, and goodbye.